The study of environment and the interactions which happens inside the environment is what is called as ecology. When we talk about the environment, we talk about the Earth's environment. And the ecology, ecosystem, all these interactions happen only on the surface of Earth. No other planet has this capacity to host life. We need to study these two subjects in very detail in UPSC. It is a major part of both prelims as well as mains. In prelims also there is a sufficient weightage. In mains also there is sufficient. That kind of study is not required here. For UPSC, first you need to understand what is the requirement of UPSC and study in that direction and fulfill the need of UPSC. Yes or no?
Every journey begins with a dream, but dreams need direction. Without the right foundation, effort feels scattered, unclear, exhausting. That's where Vision IAS steps in, a structured GS foundation built to guide every step of your preparation. From admission to mentorship, every resource you need is here, under one foundation. And when the day arrives, your dream is no longer just a dream, it's your reality. Vision IAS GS Foundation course, your first step towards success.
My name is Raj Govindraj. I'm faculty of Geography and Environment here at Vision AS and associated with Vision since last 10 years. So it has been a wonderful experience of teaching all the young minds in the process of civil services. Preparation has been very much so enriching in terms of the experience as well as interaction. So today we'll be discussing about how to strategize the preparation of geography and environment. Okay, so for 2027 and the further years. How many of you are planning to appear for 2027? Okay, good. So have you started your preparation? Or yet to begin the preparation? Yet to begin the preparation? Okay. Yeah. So about the subject of geography and environment. Okay, so let me just briefly tell you what is this subject about, geography as well as environment. So geography is basically the study of Earth. Okay, so technically, more specifically, if you have to speak, it's the description of Earth, the conditions around the Earth, on the Earth. So all of this we call it as geography. For example, the mountains, the formation of mountains, plateaus, plains, rivers, the atmosphere conditions, okay, whatever is present in the atmosphere, winds, cyclones, jet streams, air masses, right? And even inside the oceans, gives what is present inside the ocean, what is the temperature of ocean, how salinity varies, what do you mean by ocean currents, coral reefs. Have you heard of coral reefs? Okay, so tides, waves, right? So So these are the physical aspects. On the other hand, there is also economic aspect. Okay, so for example, agriculture, industries, transportation, mining, minerals, right? All of these are economic aspects, economic. This is something which is related to geography, right? There's also social aspects. For example, population, settlement. What do you mean by settlement? Where the people live, how they survive, how they function. That area, that is what is called as settlement. Okay, so this kind of study of the surrounding environment, surrounding people, okay, so and the interactions which are happening in this surrounding environment is what is called as geography. Fine. The study of places, people, and the interaction within the surrounding environment. Fine. What do you mean by environment? What is environment? Our surrounding is our environment. Basically, it is the surrounding conditions which influences us, which supports our growth. It is the conditions which help us, so in surviving. It is one surrounding. Fine. The study of environment and the interactions which happens inside the environment is what is called as ecology. Fine. Overall subject is called as environment and ecology. On one hand we have geography, another hand which is ecology and environment. Fine. Both are very closely related to each other. When we talk about the environment, we talk about the Earth's environment. And the ecology, ecosystem, all these interactions happen only on the surface of Earth. No other planet has this capacity to host life. No other planet has life, as we know. So do we have any other planet with life? No. So only the planet Earth which has the life. Only the planet Earth which has an environment which is habitable in nature. Habitable means capable of supporting life. Right? All the interactions which happens in the environment, will study that. The ecology, the biodiversity, the pollution, degradation, the idea of sustainable development, environmental conservation. All of this goes into the subject of environment. Whereas in geography, we have the physical geography covering the land mass, covering the atmosphere, covering the oceans, and then the human geography, economic geography. These are the two major subjects you would have studied in your school. The last time you studied was in, I think, 10th standard or 11th, 12th standard, not beyond that. Any of you who have studied this from graduation? No? Okay, fine. We need to study these two subjects in very detailed manner in UPSC. It is a major part of both prelims as well as mains. In prelims also there is a sufficient weightage, in mains also there is sufficient weightage. We'll try to analyze what is this subject of environment, what is the subject of geography, and how to prepare for this, how to strategize our preparation. Okay, so because it's not just about the study. Okay, it's not the time like when we just go through the material, we just mug it up and go in the examination and just vomit it out. Okay, so that will not give you marks. It's very important to strategize and prepare in the direction which is required by UPSC. Otherwise, geography is such a wide subject, you can study for 10-15 years. I have been studying geography since last 15 years. There's more to study. Okay, I have done my master's in environmental studies. Okay, so there's more to study. That kind of study is not required here. For UPSC, first you need to understand what is the requirement of UPSC and study in that direction and fulfill the need of UPSC. Yes or no? So that is the attempt here, the strategy for the subject. Definitely it begins with understanding what is syllabus. Okay, so this is the syllabus of geography in prelims. Okay, so in prelims, geography is given as a very simple and straightforward one line. The name of the subject is Indian and World Geography. In that we have physical geography, social geography, and economic geography. 3 aspects of geography. Fine. What is physical? The study of physical features, physical conditions, physical. The physical geography has a total of 5 parts in it. geomorphology, study of land, climatology, study of atmosphere, oceanography, study of oceans, biogeography, study of life, environmental geography, the study of surrounding environment. The 5 different parts that comes under physical. Social, I told you about population, settlement, language, tribal, culture, that is all social. Economic activities, agriculture, industries, mining, etc., transportation, that is all economic geography. 3 different aspects of geography we have to study this from prelims point of view. Fine. From mains point of view, little bit more detailed description is given in the syllabus. I have taken this from the notification only. I have not changed even a word as it is screenshot. It is very important that you go through the notification to understand the syllabus in detail, to understand the subject. In GS 1 of mains, that is paper 2 of mains. How many papers are there in mains? 9 papers are there. In the 2 are compulsory. It's called as paper A and paper B. Other than that, there are paper 1 to paper 7. Paper 1 is essay. Paper 2, 3, 4, 5 is GS 1, 2, 3, 4. Paper 6 and paper 7 are optional 1, optional 2. So basically, therefore, paper 2 is GS 1. Fine. In GS 1, we have a subject of geography. There 3 topics are mentioned. The first one is the salient features of world's physical geography. The salient features of world's physical geography. So which again talks about the same physical aspects. Fine. The second one is natural resources. Natural resources basically the minerals, water resource, land resource, vegetation resource. Right? All of these are natural resources, naturally available resources. This is part of economic geography. Fine. The factors responsible for the location of primary, secondary, tertiary sectors, the same thing which I told you about the economic geography. So this entire topic is about economic geography, slightly elaborated. They are saying we have to study about the resources, we have to study about primary activity, that is agriculture, mining, lumbering, fishing, all of them are primary. Secondary, manufacturing, construction, tertiary, transportation services, okay, so education, health, all of these are tertiary. All the different types of activities from the geography's perspective. This is part of geography, both from world as well as India. And then there is a third topic, important geophysical phenomena such as earthquakes, tsunami, volcanic activity, cyclones. Okay, so this topic is specifically mentioned, even though this is part of your physical geography. All of these topics are part of your physical geography only, but still it is specifically mentioned because they are very relevant in the current context. They are very important in the present context of climate change, global warming, okay, so and disasters, right, and various other issues, environmental issues which we are facing. In that context, this is very, very important. This is where the government's role is very, very crucial, particularly in a country like India, where particularly our civil servants are going to play a huge role in the management of the surrounding society, right? So those topics, since it is, even though it is part of physical geography only, it specifically mentioned a very subtle hint that please study this in more careful manner, more detailed manner. The questions are going to be more detailed here. Fine. So these are the 3 topics which are mentioned in the mains. Other than that, there are few more parts of the syllabus where geography is there indirectly mentioned. People fail to notice that. People just think, okay, so 3 aspects are given in prelims: physical, social and economic. Okay, so and in that part we'll study. So in mains only these 3 parts are given. We tend to forget that there are other papers also where geography is mentioned. For example, in GS3 there are few topics are there. In economics it is hidden. Agriculture. Agriculture is a primary economic activity that is there in GS3. Crops, cropping pattern, cropping condition, it is very clearly given here. And then there is infrastructure, energy, ports, roads, airports and railways. This is part of your GS3. There is geography here also. And then there is environmental issues, conservation. Of course, this is a subject of environment, but environment is also part of geography only originally. Environmental geography, I told you. है ना, वो भी हमारा ही है. Okay, so this is also geography only. Disaster management, most of the disaster events are geographical events. Okay, so the thing is you need to connect geography with these topics whenever these topics comes. Don't restrict your study geography understanding to only GS1. In GS3 also there is geography. Fine. So combining both, we can say, okay, so what are the topics and areas which you have to study as part of your geography? One is physical geography of the world, second is physical geography of India, third is human geography of both world and India. You have to study this comprehensively. Physical geography I have separated both world and India. Human geography I have said, okay, you can study together. Why? Physical geography is more conceptual part. It's better if you study separately. Human geography is little bit more information based, factual type. It's better you study it together. It will make it easier. Otherwise, there is a lot of repetitions. In physical geography of the world, even though cosmology is not mentioned directly anywhere, you need to understand the basics of cosmology to understand geography. For example, what is solar system? What is universe? How the solar system originated? How the universe originated? What is a planet? What is a satellite? What do you mean by rotation? What is revolution? How seasons occur? How eclipse occur? Right? So how moon has an impact on the earth? All of these are required to understand geography in detail. Therefore, you should begin with that. This is the most basic part. Then start with geomorphology, the study of landforms, the foundation part of physical geography. Physical geography is the foundation for geography. In that physical geography, geomorphology is the foundation. Very, very important part. Here comes the very important aspects like what is earthquake, what is volcanism, what do you mean by continental drift, what is plate tectonics theory. Very basic ideas which tries to so develop a clarity in geography, the conceptual part. That is geomorphology. Climatology, about the climatic condition, what is atmosphere, what do you mean by wind, what is temperature, what is pressure, what do you mean by jet stream, how jet streams are responsible for winter rainfall in India, what is a cyclone, what causes cyclone formation to be more in Bay of Bengal than in Arabian Sea. They are more practical. Climatology is more practical, very interesting also. Oceanography, same thing I told you, study of waves, tides. Okay, so the ocean temperature, ocean salinity, right? All these aspects related to the oceans you have to study in detail. Biogeography. What about environmental geography? वो तो अलग कर दिया ना UPSC ने. It is separate in syllabus only. In syllabus only it is mentioned separately. We will also study separately. Otherwise, this is part of geography only. This is the world's physical geography. In Indian physical geography also you have to study physiography of India. That is the physical features of India. What are Himalayas? What are the different parts of Himalayas? What are peninsular blocks? What are the different plateaus over there? What is the plain area? What is Indo-Gangetic plains? What are the coastal plains? How they are formed? How they are different from each other? The drainage system of India is basically the river system of India. The different types of rivers, the difference between the Himalayan peninsular drainage. Okay, so what are the characteristics over there? How they originated? How these rivers originated? What is the major rivers over there? All of this in detail. Climate of India and soils of India. This part becomes very, very significant in prelims. I have given this together for both prelims and mains. There is no separation of prelims and mains here. Both are part of the same. You give preference to understanding the subject, understanding the concept. You can deal with both prelims and mains simultaneously. That is how your preparation goes. It doesn't happen like first I'll prepare for prelims, then I'll go for mains. No. Okay, so in that if you give more importance, many of the prelims related questions come from Indian physical geography. So there it will be thorough. Many of the mains related questions come from here. There again it will be thorough. But to understand this, you need the support of this. Economic geography includes the resources. In mains there is a resource topic, right? Water resources, ocean and water resources, vegetation resources, mineral and energy resources, all resources. Primary activity, agriculture, secondary activity, industry, tertiary, transportation, infrastructure. In detail. Particularly in prelims, they are more related to current affairs. They give preference to current related aspects. In which country is the largest producer of tin? Which country is recently in news because of the excessive extraction of rare earth elements? Okay, so and what is the type of rocks which contains these type of minerals, like that, most practical, right? So that is the nature of economic geography. There is a very small part of human geography, population settlement. In geography, it is a big part, but in UPSC, it is a small part because there is not much of weightage over there. You don't have to go in too detail over there. This we will understand through PYQ analysis. In addition to all of this, there is also map locations, mapping, very very important part. Is it a difficult part? Difficult लगता है mapping? So मुझे तो बहुत interesting लगता है. The most interesting part of geography actually, mapping. It's about the way you practice that. If you just open a atlas and try to mug up all the location, it becomes very boring and difficult. You need to connect with it. You need to visualize, imagine yourself over there on the location. Okay, so that is what is mapping. Very, very important aspect of mapping. In prelims as well as mains, do you see mapping locations in mains? They won't ask it directly, but they expect you to write that in your answers. Fine. This is geography. Let me tell you about environment. Environment as a subject, if you try to see, in prelims it is just given as one line. General issues on environmental ecology, biodiversity and climate change. Environmental ecology. What is ecology? Study of ecosystem. Biodiversity, the different forms of life on the earth. है ना, यूपीएससी में एक बहुत फेमस क्वेश्चन आया था, 12 फीट का बनाना कहां पर मिलता है इंडिया में. Okay, so it's not about that, it's about the speciality, it's about the specific characteristics, है ना. So different forms of life, that is biodiversity. The most important current aspect is climate change. Fine. In mains, again there is only one line. In GS3 it is given mains environment part is part of GS3. There is only one line, environmental conservation, pollution, degradation and environmental impact assessment. Fine. So basically syllabus doesn't justify, okay, it has not given too much of information regarding what to study in environmental and ecology. Based on PYQ analysis we can come to this conclusion. Okay, these are the major divisions of subjects in environmental ecology. The most basic part is ecology. This will give you the foundation, the basic understanding of what is environment, what is ecology, what is ecosystem. Okay, so interactions in the ecosystem, food chain, food web, ecological pyramid, biogeochemical cycles. Okay, so different types of ecosystems. What is the specific characteristic of each of them? Where do you find each of the type of ecosystem? That is what is ecology. We'll start with that. Start with ecology only. That will give you a basic idea. Then proceed towards understanding the diversity of life on the earth, different life forms on the earth. This is very, very interesting if you're able to connect there. You need to understand how the life evolved on the earth first. Then understand the present distribution of life on the earth, various different forms of life on the earth. Okay, so here the questions are going to be very interesting also. Sometimes they may ask, okay, so which animal has the longest gestation period on the earth? Okay, so whether elephants follow matriarchal system or patriarchal system. Okay, like this, very interesting if you can try to relate, but that is biodiversity. Then environmental degradation, basically all kind of nonsense we are doing on the earth. Because of human beings only, no other animal is doing degradation of environment. Every animal, every life lives sustainably. It is only human beings which is involved in this pollution, degradation, deforestation, soil erosion, land degradation, water pollution, soil pollution. Okay, so air pollution, global warming. सुना है global warming? Experience क्या है? More people have experienced this than they have heard. सब तो एक्सपीरियंस तो किया है, क्लाइमेट चेंज तो सब तो एक्सपीरियंस किया है, कम लोग जानते हैं व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज दिस. ग्लोबल वार्मिंग, क्लाइमेट चेंज, ओजोन डिप्लीशन, रेडिएशन pollution, sound pollution, every form of degradation. You need to understand what is the cause of them, what is the impact of them, what are the solutions required to be taken. In addition, what are the different measures which we are taking to control them? To control the pollution, what exactly we are doing? There are various different laws, legislation, for example, Wildlife Protection Act to protect Indian biodiversity, Environment Protection Act to protect the environment of India, Air Act, Water Act, Biodiversity Act, Forest Rights Act. There's so many acts, so many projects, so many policies, programs, Project Tiger, Project Elephant, है ना. ऐसे बहुत सारे चीज़ें जो गवर्नमेंट कर रहे हैं. इंटरनेशनल लेवल में आप लोगों ने सुना होगा पेरिस एग्रीमेंट, उसके पहले था क्योटो प्रोटोकॉल, देन वियना कन्वेंशन, मॉन्ट्रियल प्रोटोकॉल, यूनाइटेड नेशन कन्वेंशन ऑन बायोलॉजिकल डाइवर्सिटी, UNCCD कन्वेंशन टू कॉम्बैट डेजर्टिफिकेशन, लाइक दिस वेरियस डिफरेंट इनिशिएटिव्स टेकन. वो सारा हमें डिटेल में कवर करना है यहाँ पर. इन एडिशन टू दैट द सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट. व्हाट इज सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट? बिकॉज खाली एनवायरमेंट करते रहो, हम ग्रो नहीं करेंगे ना. पुअर तो पुअर ही रहेंगे. Who will save them? The government has to do that. But if the government tries to generate jobs, the government tries to put up industries, okay, so they will say this is polluting the environment. We need to balance both. Environment को भी बचाना है, development भी होना चाहिए. Such kind of development is called a sustainable development. उसका components क्या है? What are the major initiatives taken? What we are doing, what world is doing in this context? That is sustainable development. Environmental impact assessment, EIA. It's directly given in the syllabus. हमने पढ़ा था EIA. Okay, so there we need to study the method of EIA. So what is the idea of EIA? उसका अंदर क्या होता है? There are a few aspects related to environmental ethics also. This is again both pre and mains. दोनों pre कम mains है. Syllabus थोड़ा बहुत clear है. What all we have to study in geography? What all we have to study in environment? What is the strategy? Once you know what to be studied, the most important thing you need to understand is how to study, at what depth to study. Okay, so कितने depth में जाना है, कहाँ से पढ़ना है, what are the sources we should follow, and for all of that the most simple and easy and direct understanding, मतलब GC direct जो source हमें मिलता है वो है PYQ. The previous year's questions. Go through them, analyze them, understand them. You will get a lot of so tips and lot of direction to your preparation. If without understanding the PYQ, if you are going through the textbooks, आप लोगों ने सुना होगा, ठीक है, टॉपर लोगों ने बता दिया. मार्केट में भी आप जाओ, चाय वाले से लेके सब लोग, न्यूज़पेपर डालने वाले सब लोग बताएंगे एनसीईआरटी पढ़ो, पॉलिटी है लक्ष्मीकांत पढ़ो, ठीक है, सब लोग बोलेंगे ये पढ़ो वो पढ़ो. कैसे पढ़ना है? हाउ टू डू दैट? कौन सी एरिया में हमें ज़्यादा फोकस करना है? आंसर कहाँ पर लिखना है? वेयर यू हैव टू डेवलप कॉन्सेप्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग, वेयर यू हैव टू रिमेंबर द फैक्चुअल इन्फॉर्मेशन. ये सारा आपको समझने के लिए आपको खुद करना है PYQ analysis. Okay, so there are a few other strategies we'll discuss. Let's start with PYQ analysis. Very briefly, I'll tell you. Of course, our scope of discussion will be limited to giving you a direction. Okay, so it's a short session. I want you to do this exercise. Okay, so on your own. Analyzing PYQs help in understanding the weightage of any particular subject. Any particular subject. For example, geography ले लो. Geography में आपको मतलब prelims के कितने क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, मेंस में कितने क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, आपको कितना वहाँ पर काम करना है. How much you have to work. First, you need to understand that weightage of any subject. And after that, the nature of the questions. What kind of questions are coming? Factual or conceptual? Static or current related? You have to read from NCERT. Is NCERT sufficient or you need to go beyond NCERT? What are the sources you have to follow? Okay, so do you have to write more answers? Do you have to practice more questions? Or do you have to brainstorm more? ये सारा आपको पता चलेगा if you go through the PYQs. And is there any change in the pattern? पहले conceptual पूछ रहे थे, अभी static पूछ रहे हैं, तो how to deal with that? Okay, so in which area they are asking conceptual? Climatology most conceptual part, economic geography more factual part. कैसे समझ आएगा PYQ? Prediction of topic is also very important. You cannot read every topic. सारा topic सारा syllabus बैठ के पढ़ूंगा, मैं सारा geography पढ़ लूंगा. पढ़ो, कोशिश करो, लगेगा 15 साल. Okay, so you need to smartly predict this. This is very very important. the depth of study also. I told you, so population and settlement, human geography, so social geography के लिए you don't need too much of so understanding. General काफी है. कैसे पता चला? PYQ analysis. Economic geography you have to go in slightly detail. Physical geography you have to go in more detail. Okay, so because that is how it has been. UPSC has been focusing more on them. You give a minimum of last 10 years of analysis, you will understand this. Fine. I'll just give you a glimpse. For PYQ, so we have a separate sessions, the PYQ analysis. Okay, so there you will find in more detail. Otherwise, in YouTube, there are a few links where we can find brief analysis. I would suggest strongly go through a minimum of last 10 years of analysis. Minimum. Both prelims as well as mains. Every subject you have to do this. And don't wait till the subject is complete. It's not like you will, okay, first you will prepare geography, then you will go through the PYQs. That is a very bad strategy. Because if you study the subject from a general point of view, then you go through the PYQ, then you will realize, okay, I should have studied in an entirely different direction itself. It's a waste of time, waste of resources, very precious. And so why to do that? So first go through the PYQs. You may not understand everything. You may just get, okay, bits and pieces, but still that is sufficient. Just put it in your mind. When you read geography, you will recall that. Okay, so तब ऐसे क्वेश्चन आया था, शायद ऐसे पढ़ना ही मुझे, है ना. So and using that you will be able to predict. Okay, so वो plate tectonics में क्वेश्चन ऐसे आया था. Okay, so वो continental drift का क्वेश्चन ऐसे हो सकता है. Yes, that is why you have to go through PYQs before you start your preparation. Minimum of 10 years, both prelims as well as mains. Just give you a glimpse. Okay, so this is a overall analysis of weightage. You can see in prelims. In the last 4 years also, if you take, there is average of 20 questions coming out of 100 in geography. Only geography, not environment. बीच में थोड़ा सा डाउन हो गया था, अराउंड 10 to 11 तक था. अभी in the last 4 years, it is average is around 20. Last year there were 22, this year there were 19. Only geography, including map locations as well as the conventional part of geography. In that you can see maximum number of questions come from physical geography. Nearly 45% of the questions are from physical geography only. This is mains. Consistently in GS1, average of 100 marks. This year 130 marks. 50% of GS1 is geography only. I'm not including GS3. उनको छोड़ दिया, चलो उनको लेने दो. GS3, at least 2 to 3 questions, at least 25 to 30 marks are from geography only. Agriculture, so industries, transportation, it's part of economics also, geography also. Fine, at least 25 to 30 marks. And there's 30 to 40 marks more in environment and disaster management. वो भी तो हमारा ही है, उसको छोड़ दिया मैंने. 100 to 120 marks in GS1 is exclusively geography. Okay, so in that you can see majorly the physical geography as well as human geography has equal weightage. Recent trend, the social geography has been increasing. Population के related questions आ रहे हैं. Demographic winter के बारे में last year question आया था. Okay, so that is based on the demographic transition theory, because India's demography is in a changing state. उस transition stage में है, we are moving to the next stage. In that context, not only India, even at the world level also, many countries are aging. There's a very high aging population. Japan ले लो, Italy ले लो. And in that context, they are asking more. This environment is consistently high. There's no year where the number of questions in environment has come less than 15 out of 100. मतलब 15 मिनिमम एनवायरमेंट में होगा, 15 मिनिमम ज्योग्राफी में होगा. लास्ट 10 ईयर का ले लो, 15 तो मिल ही जाएगा एवरेज. 30 to 35 questions in your prelims come from geography and environment alone. 30 to 35 questions. है ना. तो इसलिए मैंने खुद एक मीम बनाया है. क्योंकि जनरेशन, आज का जनरेशन तो मीम वाला जनरेशन है। So to make you understand the significance of environment and geography. This shows the significance of geography and environment section in prelims. Thoroughly prepare, 1/3 of your prelims preparation is done. 35 out of 100. In environment you need a very good support of current affairs. इसलिए मैंने यहाँ पर लिखा है PD 365. ठीक है? So like this, you need to analyze. See, mains, both environment and disaster management together carries a good weightage, minimum 50 to 60 marks in GS3. This year there was total of 75 marks out of 250. So geography in GS3 around 30 marks, environment disaster management around 70 marks, 100 marks gaya udhar. GS1 100 marks, GS3 100 marks, total 200 marks out of 750. मिनिमम 200 to 250. इस साल तो 130 आया है GS1 में, है ना? 200 to 250 out of 750, it's a very high weightage. दोबारा हो गया 1/3. Mains also almost 1/3. Ethics छोड़ो, ethics तो separate है. Among all the general study subjects, geography and environment carries the highest weightage. Okay, so मैं ऐसे इसलिए नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि मैं पढ़ा रहा हूँ geography, environment तो मेरा ही सब्जेक्ट ज़्यादा है, बिल्कुल ऐसा नहीं है. So we need to understand the reality. ठीक है? And as such, as a civil servant also, if you try to see, this knowledge is very much required. Where you work, where you study, where you so interact with the people and the surrounding, the experience and the understanding of the surrounding is very, very important. Geography and environment will help you in that. Okay, so this kind of understanding, and so even the PYQ analysis also, it's the questions. Okay, so let me show you 1 or 2 questions at least, है ना? 1-2 questions दिखाता हूँ. चलो ये वाला क्वेश्चन बताओ. About 3/4 of the world's cobalt, a metal required for manufacturing of batteries for electric vehicles, is produced by. Totally current related. Okay, this is from DRC, totally from news. Okay, so you need to link the geography what you study into current affairs also. Of course, there are many questions which are totally direct from the textbook. Earthquakes के ऊपर वैसे वाला भी मिलेगा, current related भी मिलेगा, है ना? So among all the minerals, why they are asking only cobalt? Current context, electric vehicles, batteries. More than 60% of cobalt of the world comes from DRC. Can you see the current connection? Okay, so environment का देखो. For example, this is the one I was telling. The leader of elephant group is female. Maximum gestation period can be 22. Normally gone to calving up to the age of 40 years. If you see the syllabus of environment, there is one interesting line which is not there in any other syllabus. The general issues on ecology, biodiversity, climate change that do not require subject specialization. You don't need to do masters to understand about elephants. A simple interest, simple curiosity would be sufficient over there. Most of the questions related to environment come like this only. Either related to the environmental issues जो सबको पता होना चाहिए. Okay, so you are all going through this air pollution. Okay, so दिवाली अभी खत्म हुआ है, खांसी, सिर दर्द सारा हुआ है थोड़ा बहुत. Why? Because of air pollution. What is causing this air pollution? What are the sources behind that? You need to understand that. This is the general correlation. That general correlation is very much required here. Environment का कोई भी question ले लो, there is a practical application over there. That is the approach you have to keep here. Okay, so go through the PYQs, go through the questions in detail, do the sectional analysis, and that will give you a lot of edge in preparing. Okay, so I'll get this PPT uploaded for you guys. So there are links of PYQ analysis of last 10 years. It's connected by Vision IS only. It's there in YouTube. I have only taken this geography as well as environment part. Go through them. Okay, so 10 साल का minimum analysis होना चाहिए. That will be very much helpful. The second important strategy here is the resource optimization. Okay, so integrated approach I told you, so the prelims and mains have to be integrated. There is no separate study, particularly in geography and environment, there is no separate study. Okay, so when we say, okay, so to understand that concept in depth, an in-depth understanding is required. That is helpful both for not only mains, even for prelims also. The questions in geography, some of the questions in environment requires a conceptual understanding. Fine. So you must have seen many of the times a candidate who has appeared for mains, and let's say he has not qualified the mains, and next year he appears, he very easily clears prelims. It happens. Because mains will give you the depth required, which will be very much helpful in prelims. And when you study for prelims in a very extensive manner, you gather a lot of information which will enrich your answers with more examples, more facts, so more information. Both has to go hand in hand. That is what is integrated approach. There is no separation here. You're preparing for 2027, there is enough time for you. Okay, so start your journey from the basics. That is geography or environment, the rule is same, start from the basics. Develop a very clear clarity, okay, conceptual clarity at the basics. Once the basics are clear, go into the advanced level. Okay, so little bit more advanced, more information, more, so adding of layering. On top of that, there are a few more things. Okay, so third thing is resource optimization. You need to ensure that you have a very limited resources. Please don't try to read everything whatever is there in the market. For geography, these are the most basic things which you have to cover. There's 11th standard NCERT, Fundamentals of Physical Geography, 11th standard NCERT second part, India Physical Environment. This is Physical Geography of World, Physical Geography of India. In addition to this, there is also one more small book, बहुत ही छोटा book है, बहुत ही concise manner में दिया है. That is what is GC Leong, compulsory है. Okay, so you have to go through that. Very important. For human geography, 12th standard part 1, 12th standard part 2. Fundamentals of human geography, India, people and economy. Human geography of world, human geography of India. In addition to that, to have a more detailed understanding of agriculture, resources, industries and transportation, I am suggesting you total geography ICSE syllabus. There is little bit more detailed discussion. What is required for UPSC? Map reading is compulsory. Because in prelims, if there are 15 questions in geography, okay, so in that at least 7 to 8 is going to be from mapping part. Doesn't mean that you will do it separately. It has to be done in an integrated manner along with geography. You cannot just mug up all the mountains of the world. When you study the physical geography, when you study geomorphology, along with the concepts, you have to remember that. When you study Indian physical geography, when you study the drainage system, along with the concepts, you have to remember the rivers of India. That is a very, very important part which has to go hand in hand with your preparation. Okay, so mapping is a very important part. Current context is again very significant. Fine. So other than that,
Maths and quantitative aptitude are critical in CSAT paper 2. Questions are becoming more demanding, and that means strategy, accuracy and time management are essential for a strong performance. Without structured preparation, even strong aspirants can struggle to optimize their approach. That's why building maths proficiency early is so important. It gives you clarity, consistency and confidence to tackle this section effectively. The CSAT Maths Classroom Program 2026, starting 25th September at 5 p.m. is designed to help you do exactly that. With comprehensive topic coverage, access to live and recorded classes, weekly tests, the All India CSAT test series with All India rankings, personalized mentoring and regular assessments. You get everything you need to build a structured and confident approach. Join now to strengthen your skills and face this important section with control and precision. To register or know more, visit our website or call us on the given numbers.
two more aspects. One is focused study, another one is assessment and mock tests. So when I say focus study, so you need to ensure that you manage your time more effectively, because a person who is just beginning his preparation tends to try everything. ठीक है, so उनको लगता है कि सारो चलो करके देखते हैं. Please don't do that. That is why we are here. We are here. Our mentors are here. Okay, so when you come to the classroom, okay, so we'll give you proper guidelines. कहाँ पर आपको काम करना है. At regular interval, you have to do a course correction, assessing your level of preparation and understanding the UPSC's demand. In this context, the most important guide which will help you follow that so focused path is PYQ. Regularly, once you do the analysis before you start your preparation, at regular intervals, open it. Let's say you have started your geography study. Let's say you have gone through geomorphology. After the end of geomorphology, open prelims questions from geomorphology, mains questions from geomorphology. Try to answer them. Try to sit and write the answer. If you are able to write the answer, if you have developed the conceptual clarity, that means you are going in the right path. Otherwise, try to talk to your mentor. Try to talk to the faculties. Okay, so try to see where exactly you are making a mistake. Try to understand that. That is a focus study. You cannot make all the mistakes by yourself and learn. The world tries to tell you, okay, so this is a wrong thing. ये गलत है. तब थोड़ा सा सुनना पड़ेगा आपको. जैसे ठीक है, तो तुम कौन हो बोलने वाले, मैं करके देखूंगा. देखो 5 year plan हो जाएगा यूपीएससी फिर. Okay, so इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि सबको सुनो. सबको सुनने से भी फिर दोबारा यही होगा. Okay, so listen to the people who are there to help you out, जो honest opinion देंगे, जो जिससे जो valued होता है, तो उसमें आपको तो सुनना पड़ेगा and do a course correction. A focus study is very, very important. Assessment and mock test. Another tool to help you make your study focus. In geography, in environment, very, very important that you practice by writing more answers. At regular intervals, daily basis में आपको आंसर लिखना है based on the PYQs. PYQs के हिसाब से, as well as so using the other mock test. For example, in Vision we have so a database of nearly 25 to 30,000 questions for prelims. Sandan. Let's say you have completed one particular unit, geomorphology complete हो गया, वहाँ पर जाके so geomorphology unit select कर लो, वो अपने आप एक टेस्ट बना के दे देता है आपके लिए, बैठ के सॉल्व करो. फिर आपको समझ आएगा कि कितना एक्चुअली geomorphology समझ आया है, कितना आपको मेहनत करना है, किस एरिया में आपको काम करना है. Okay, there are mini tests, there is monthly tests, there's sectional test, full length test. All of them are planned in such a manner that you will prepare in a phased manner. If you're starting your preparation, start with mini test. Then go with the sectional test. You have completed entire geography, go with the sectional test. You complete the entire paper, sit and attempt GS1. Okay, so this is a very, very important thing. And daily basis answer rating भी बड़ा important है. Okay, randomly take out questions and try to solve it. So पूरा geography कर लिया. Okay, so you should not wait. ठीक है, मैं एक बार revise करके answer लिखूंगा. नहीं, एक बार तो दिमाग में गया है ना. So using the try to write answers, let's see. Randomly, कभी भी बैठ के ऐसे random लिखने की कोशिश करो. That is how UPSC is going to test you. है ना. So it's not like पूरा मैं एक thoroughly prepare कर लूँगा, एक दिन आएगा जहाँ पर मेरा preparation पूरा है, तब बैठ के लिखना शुरू करूँगा. Don't make this mistake. You have to start writing. लिखते लिखते वो course correction होगा. ठीक है. So this is what I told you. So how to approach geography or environment for that matter. Start with the basics. Develop a conceptual clarity, then add more value, more information. Don't start with mugging up information in the beginning itself. Don't start with remembering the map location in the beginning without any context, without any relation. How will you remember that? Start with the most basic one. Latitude, longitude se shuru karo. Rotation, revolution. Then seasons. Then comes the idea of winds. Then comes the idea of jet streams. Then comes the idea of cyclone. There is a logical connection over there. Okay, so as you proceed into advanced stage, try to revise at regular intervals and then add more information. try to connect practically. जो भी सब्जेक्ट है हम प्रैक्टिकल कनेक्शन से इजीली याद हो जाता है. You try to relate with the outside world. And geography environment is the most practical subjects for that matter. Right? So वो कनेक्ट करने से बहुत इजी रहेगा, याद भी रख सकते हैं और क्लैरिटी भी आएगा और अच्छा आंसर लिख सकते हो. Fine. So this is all from my end. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Yes. You're just starting your geography. If you try to attempt a mains answer, you will not have enough resource or content to write the answer. That is why you have to be careful to attempt the type of question. When you begin your preparation, initially take up easy questions, initially take up those questions from the part which you have studied. From the class you will get. In every class, there is assignment. Okay, so try to attempt that first. It's from the class you will get. Then once you complete a particular unit, then there is a mini test. There's a sectional test. The preparation has to go in an organic manner. In some cases, you may write. Okay, so not every subject requires that kind of technical understanding. Okay, so let's say society. A general idea. You know what is urbanization. You know what is urbanization. If the question is about what are the issues, challenges associated with the rapid urbanization, you should be able to think and write the answer. There you practice. Some of the areas require technical understanding. Once you study that, then you start with that. Fine? Anything else? So for 2027, see, whenever we talk about 2027 prelims, that is, it's expected to be in the month of May 2027. Okay, so minimum of 1.5 year current affairs is required for that. That is January 2026 से आपको current affairs thoroughly शुरू करना है. But if you start now, there is no harm in that because many things will be happening continuously. There is a continuity in many of the issues. Okay, so for example, let's say environmental issues like in Delhi's air pollution, just happening since a long period of time. So these things, if you start to read now, so it will be helpful later also. And there is also a different way of understanding, method of understanding. To get into that habit itself, it will take time. Start now. What should be? Approach is from a general perspective. What do you mean by this? Try to read an article. Let's say there's a news about, let's say, Yamuna pollution. Okay, so there is a topic about what are the causes of Yamuna pollution. Okay, so why it is not able to get cleaned, or there are many efforts to clean it. What exactly is happening? This doesn't require too much of technicality. Try to read it. If you don't understand, so try to search through internet. There are many tools now, ChatGPT, etc. But try to be careful. No need to dig into detail because that tend to make you lost. Try to keep it general. From a general common man's point of view, how much you want to understand. Restrict over there. Once you start your subject, then you will understand that. बिकॉज एक बार सब्जेक्ट हो गया तो तब आपको कनेक्ट करना है, ठीक है, वापस आके एनसीईआरटी में पढ़ना है, वापस आके आपके क्लासरूम नोट से उठाना है, तब वो होगा. अभी के लिए कीप इट जनरल. Preferably before the classes. But even, so even in that case also, you will not be completely thorough with NCERTs, even if you read it. Your first reading is always like general understanding. Do that before the class starts. Once the class starts, along with that again read it. Then you will get better clarity. Anything else? Chalo, I wish you all the best. Thank you.